welcome to my gallery in southwest France. I'm Diana. I love to paint in watercolours and I want to help you to enjoy painting in watercolours too. Today we're going to do a simple exercise using a toothbrush and a selection of summer colours to paint a tree in full leaf. I have one I did earlier to show you. Very loose, no pencil work, so let's just enjoy painting. A sheet of Arche 300-gram watercolour paper, a toothbrush and a palette which consists of a combination of different blues. We have turquoise, cobalt turquoise, Winsor blue green shade, Winsor blue red shade, transparent yellow, and a toothbrush. So off we go. I'm starting with a damp toothbrush and the palette of transparent yellow, flicking the colour on with my index finger as you see. I've speeded up the video so it isn't too tedious to watch. We always start with yellow because yellow is easier to lose on the paper. Now I've gone to the cobalt turquoise and spreading the colour around the paper in a very random way. Really, we're producing the foliage for the tree or the forest or whatever woodland scene you want to paint. And this technique can be used as a basis for lots of woodland landscapes. We're doing just one tree today, but you can multiply that and add trees in the background. As we go, I'll explain how. We always then go to the darker colours, the darker blues, and finally the Payne's grey, which will gives us some depth. Now I'm adding water to the base of the painting. This will give us our ground line. I don't want it straight across, I want a slight slope on it. And as you see, I'm spotting in the yellow first, as always, followed by the Winsor blue green shade and Payne's grey. I also have a palette on the side with Indian red and Payne's grey, which you can't quite see in the shot. But now I'm moving it just to give us an interesting basis and texture. Then we need to let it dry. Now the paper's dry and you can see in the shot the palette with the Payne's grey and Indian red, and we're going to use this colour to create a dark brown, almost black. I have a small liner brush that I'm using now to start to give an indication of the trunk of the tree. But as you notice, I haven't done a double solid line. I just have put colour on the left hand side and water to it so that we get a darker area, a shade area, and a lighter area for the trunk. There are no solid continuous lines in this tree. I'm using all the spattering that we created before as my basis for the leaves, and I'm just adding the branches in almost a dot dash method. Now you see them, now you don't, because that gives the chance for all the spattering to come through as the leaves of the tree. If you spend time looking at trees, you'll see that the branches grow, they're thicker at the base of the tree as the tree grows from the trunk, and then they diminish in size as they continue and the branches go smaller and smaller, always dividing off in Y junctions. They don't grow usually at right angles. And so I'm trying to kind of continue with the branch in this stop-start method, sometimes adding darker colour in some areas to give emphasis, and then letting the colour go lighter in other places so the branches look lighter and more delicate. It's important not to do drastically straight, strong lines, but to be sympathetic and be aware always that you've got your spattering of leaves. So you want to place the branches between those spatterings. Now you see them, now you don't. And this helps to give a three-dimensional impression to the picture. Because trees are not two-dimensional, we have branches that are coming towards us and branches that are going away. So some will be more visible than others. And it's just a question of working away with your small brush, adding little branches, making connections with the bigger branches and emphasising those connections with darker colour. You can work away at this for quite a while. In fact, I could have worked away at it longer than I have, but then that would defeat the object of trying to have a short, concise video that you can follow. So this is my aim, really. If we wanted to put other trees in the video, we could make them paler and smaller behind or to the left-hand side of the tree. I'm adding a little bit more shading now and paying attention to the roots, which are clinging on to that slight incline in the ground. And always I use water to blend the colours as well. Just add a little bit of contrasting detail. The tree, of course, is going to create a shadow on the ground. And so now I'm mixing the colours a little stronger. All the colours that we've used, the blues, the turquoise, the Payne's grey and green, and washing the ground with water first and then spotting the colour in. I like this process. The colours can combine and run down the paper to create textures which you could never do with the brush. And it's good to move the paper and let it flow and leave the little areas of light that we've got just to be the areas of dappled shade. We could work at this picture for longer, but it is a short exercise to give you an idea of the techniques we can use to create a tree which isn't static and rigid, which has life. And of course we could vary the colour from one season to the next. I'm adding a light dusting now of yellow-green to give that idea of the first leaves of spring. But you could use burnt sienna and Indian red and other autumn colours to create an autumnal tree, or stronger greens to give a little bit more of an idea of the full summer. But there we have it. Our tree is done. I hope you enjoyed my video and it's inspired you to try some of the techniques in your painting of trees and forests and the countryside. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, and I do appreciate any comments you may want to make. Till the next time, bye.